Salvete omnes. This is Abbey Latin Liber Primus, chapter 15. This is exercise D of chapter 15, parsing Latin to English. Sententia prima. Octo parvos pueros Germanos in magno oppido vidimus. So octo means 8, like October is the 8th month, right? But it is indeclinable, means it does not decline, not able to decline. So octo is its form for every case, and it's always plural, and also any number, also any gender. Parvos, from parvos aum, small or little. The os ending tells us that this is accusative plural and masculine, os. And then we have pueros, from puer, pueri, masculine, because of the I, the letter I, pronounced E, of the genitive singular, we know this is a second declension and masculine noun. Puer, pueri, puero, puerum, puero, pueri, puerorum, pueris, pueros, pueris. So pueros is the accusative, it's plural. If it's accusative, then that makes it the direct object. It's not motion towards because there's no preposition in front of this showing odd or in, towards, or into. So the pueros, the small boys, and probably going to be 8 small boys, they are receiving the action of the main verb. They are the direct object. Germanos, from germanosaum, German, accusative, plural, and masculine, germanos. So another adjective modifying the noun pueros, along with parvos and the indeclinable adjective, the numeral octo, pueros. In plus the accusative shows motion, meaning into or onto, but in plus the ablative shows location, in or on. Magno, from magnos aum, meaning big, large, or great. That ending o, magno, this is either the dative singular masculine or neuter, or it's probably going to be ablative singular masculine or neuter because the preposition in precedes it. In plus the ablative showing location. And its noun is oppido. Oppido from oppidum e neuter, town. So oppido, it is a second declension. You can tell by the letter I, pronounced E, of the genitive singular. Neuter, whereas puer, pueri is second declension masculine. Oppidum e neuter is neuter. Oppidum, oppidi, oppido, oppidum, oppido, oppida, oppidorum, oppidis, oppida, oppidis. And oppido can be dative singular neuter, but it's probably going to be ablative singular. Ablative because of the preposition in. In plus the ablative shows location. We are in the town. What kind of town is it? It is magno, big town. And vidimus, from video, videre, vidi, visus, to see. Imus, now this is the perfect stem. Perfect stem is the third principal part minus the I, so vid. And then we add the imus, that's the perfect tense. I isti it, imus istis erat. It's not the present tense. The present tense would be formed from the present stem. You take the second principal part and chop off the re. The present stem would be vide with an e, and then you would add the mus. Videmus with an e would be we see. We are seeing. That's the present tense. Vidimus is the perfect tense. We saw. We have seen. So first person plural, it's perfect, it's active, and it's indicative. Who's the subject? First person plural. We are. We saw, the direct object, 8 small German boys in magno oppido, in the large town. Optime, very well done. Sententia secunda. Meus frater mihi pecuniam dabit. Meus frater mihi pecuniam dabit. Meus, from meos aum, my, mine. Possessive adjective modifying the noun frater. Frater, fratris, masculine, brother. Nominative singular masculine, so it's indicating the subject, and meos is also nominative singular masculine, agreeing with it. So my brother is the subject. Mihi is the dative of ego. Ego is the nominative, I, that's the subject form, I am doing something. And then the genitive is mei, and that always works as an objective genitive, mei. And then mihi is the dative, to or for me. The accusative is me, and the ablative is me. Mihi is the dative, indirect object. My brother did the verb to the direct object for me, or to me. This is the indirect object. Pecuniam, from pecunia, I feminine, money. Accusative, singular, it's going to be the direct object because it's accusative. And then dabit is third person singular, future active indicative of do, dare, dedi, datus. Third person singular, you can tell by the T, it's future tense, the bit, and then active and indicative. So will give, he will give. Who will give? The subject will give. My brother. My brother will give the direct object to the indirect object. My brother will give money to me. We could also say, my brother will give me money. Optime. Tertia, sententia tertia. Si pugna fuerit acris, hostes superabimus. Si means if, not yes, if. So this is a conditional. We'll have an if part. If this happens, then this will happen. This is called the protasis, the if part. This is called the apodosis, the payoff. So if the pugna, a pugna is as a noun, this is the noun form of pugno, pugnare, pugnavi, pugnatus. Pugna, I, feminine. See, pugna, if the fight, if the combat, fuerit acris, where fuerit, that is the third person singular future perfect active indicative of sum esse fui futurus. Si pugna fuerit, if the nominative singular feminine subject, if the fight will have been. Remember, sum is to be. Will have been. It's a linking verb. We're linking this subject to a predicate nominative, which will be in the nominative case. Why does it have this form acris? Because it's feminine, agreeing with pugna feminine. Acris, which comes from acer, acris, acre, it is a third declension, three termination adjective. So it has one form acer for the masculine, another form acris for the feminine, and a third form acre for the neuter nominative. This is the feminine. If the fight will have been fierce, harsh, bitter. Hostes superabimus. Hostes, from hostis, hostis masculine, a third declension I stem. Either the nominative or the accusative. If it's nominative, it will be the subject. If it's accusative, it will be the direct object. Superabimus is first person plural, future active indicative of supero, superare, superavi, superatus. So we, first person plural, we, bimus, will, supero, superare, superavi, superatus, we will conquer, defeat, surpass. The direct object, hostes, the enemy. Under what conditions will that be? If the fight will have been fierce. If the fight will have been fierce, you could say if the fighting will have been bitter. We will defeat the enemy. Fuerit in the protasis needs to be future perfect because it's a future action that must be perfect, that is completed, by the time of the future. So the fight has to be fierce or harsh or bitter before we defeat the enemy. Both actions take place in the future. One happens before the other. That's the future perfect. Optime, quarta, sententia quarta. Quinque pueri et quatuor puellae in agris manebant. Cool story. Quinque, indeclinable numeral, which is an adjective. Quinque, which is 5. It's indeclinable, doesn't change form. Probably goes with pueri because since these forms are indeclinable, they tend to hang around the nouns they modify. Pueri, either the genitive singular masculine of puer, pueri, boy, or its nominative plural masculine. So of the boy or of the 5 boy, probably not, because quinque is like always plural, 5. It's probably 5 boys, nominative plural masculine, the subject. Et, conjunction et and, quatuor, that is 4. Puellae, from puellae feminine, well, could be genitive or dative singular, but because 4 is always plural, right, probably going to be nominative plural, and the only plural it can be if it has the ending ae pronounced I, puellae. 5 boys and 4 girls in plus the accusative, motion towards, into or onto, but in plus the ablative shows location in or on. Agris comes from ager, agri, masculine, field or farmland, and it could be the dative, plural. It's not going to be dative here. It's going to be the ablative plural because of the preposition in the fields, showing location, in the fields. Manebant, from maneo, manere, mansi, mansus, to stay, wait, or remain. Remain, ma, ramon, remain. Third person plural. Imperfect, bont. Active and indicative. To stay, wait, remain. Who did? They did. Do we have a nominative subject they? Indeed we do. Quinque pueri, the 5 boys, et the quatuor puellae, and the 4 girls. They were remaining. Where? They were staying. Staying put where? In agris, in the fields, in the farmlands, in the crops. Quinta, sententia quinta. Multa et dona magna Dei nobis dederent. So multa, from multus much, plural, many, could be nominative singular feminine, could be nominative or accusative plural neuter. Don't know. Lots of options. Et, conjunction and. Dona magna. Dona, from donum e neuter, gift, either the nominative or accusative plural neuter. Magna, from magnus aum, big, great, large, could, like multa, be nominative singular feminine or nominative or accusative plural neuter because of the a ending. Now, good chance it modifies dona. Good chance multa also modifies dona. Many and large gifts, many and great gifts. The question is, dona could be nominative showing the subject or accusative showing the direct object. Which one is it? And we don't know right now. Got to keep reading. Dei, from deus e masculine, God. Dei, either the genitive singular showing possession of the god, or dei, nominative plural masculine, the gods, meaning the subject. The gods will do something. Nobis, the forms of nos, as in we, go nos, and the genitive, objective genitive is nosri, and the partive genitive is nostrum, and then the dative is nobis, the accusative is nos, and the ablative is nobis. This is the dative nobis, dative indirect object, to us. So indirect object, the gods will give something to us. Dederent, so, or dederent. Third person plural, future perfect, erent ending, active indicative of do, dare, dedi, datus, to give. They will have given. Who will have given? The subject. So is it the many and great gifts will have given the, oh, wait, day is not accusative. We need an accusative. We need a direct object to receive the action of the verb give, dederet. So it's got to be day as the subject. The gods will have given many and great gifts to us. The gods will have given to us many and great gifts. Many and great gifts the gods will have given to us. Yes, indeed, something like that. Optime, very nice. Sexta, sententia sexta. Unus nostrum cum agricolis in agris laboravit. So unus, from unus a unus, duo, and tres are the three numeral adjectives in Latin which decline. Quatuor to centum, that is 4 to 100, including mille, 1,000, are indeclinable. They do not decline. So unus declines like a first and second declension adjective, us a except for it's a heteroclite, one of them heteroclites, where the genitive ends in ius, so unius, and the dative ends in letter I, uni. Here we simply have unus, the nominative singular masculine. One dude, one guy, unus. One unus vir, one masculine thing. Looks like it's the subject. Nostrum. Now, the forms of nos, again, are nos, and then nosri is the objective genitive, and nostrum, which is what we have here, is the partive genitive. Now, it could also be the adjective noster, nostra, nostrum, right? So keep your options open. I am going to tell you here that it is partitive. It's working off with unus. One out of us, unus nostrum. So one person out of us, one part, unus, out of a whole group, us. Cum, preposition with, takes the ablative to show either accompaniment or manner. Agricolis, from agricola I, masculine farmer. That's going to be the ablative plural masculine with the preposition cum to show accompaniment. Not manner, accompaniment. So one of us, one out of us, one part out of the whole group of us was accompanying the farmers, with the farmers. Where? In plus the accusative would show motion towards, into, or onto, but this is in plus the ablative, showing location, in or on. So in the ager, agri, masculine fields or farmland. This is going to be ablative plural masculine location. In agris, in the fields. That's where the farmers are. Laboravit, third person singular, perfect active indicative of laboro, laborare, laboravi, laboratus. Laboravit. This is the perfect stem, laborab, and the ending is it. So perfect tense. I isti it. Here it is. Imus istis erunt. So third person singular, perfect active indicative. Subject is one. One of us, one out of us, laboravit, worked, has worked with the farmers in the fields. Remember, nostrum here is a partitive genitive. Optime. Septima, sententia septima. Tres e puellis ad flumen cellere nobiscum ambulabunt. Tres, unus, duo, and tres actually do decline. Unus a declines more or less like a first and second declension usa adjective, except it's one of them heteroclats, where the genitive ends in ius, eus, and the dative ends in the letter I, e. Now tres, tria, declines like a third declension I stem adjective. So tres is going to be the masculine / feminine form. Tres, trium, tribus, tres, tribus. Tria, the neuter, declines like tria, trium, tribus, tria, tribus. So this is the masculine feminine. Tres, either the nominative or the accusative. So either the subject, if it's nominative, or a direct object, if it's accusative. from ex, preposition, mean out of, like exit, moving out of somewhere. Takes the ablative to show separation. Puellis, from puella, I, feminine, so girl. Ablative, plural, feminine. Puellis. Looks like an ablative of separation, and it is, but with numerals, this is the partitive idea. So it's pretty much translated the same way as the partitive genitive. The partitive genitive equivalent would be tres puellarum, 3 of the girls. 3 out of the girls is another way we can express this using the ablative of separation. You could also use the preposition de. Tres de puellis would be an alternative. So several ways to express this. Why would you be happy with just one? So 3 out of the girls. Out of the whole group of girls, just 3 of them. 3 girls out of the whole group. Odd. Preposition odd means to, towards, or near. Takes the accusative case. Accusative motion towards the flumen. Flumen, fluminous, neuter, river. Because it's a third declension neuter, not an I stem. This is either the nominative. It's not nominative. It's accusative because it's going with the preposition odd that takes the accusative. We're going towards the river. And it's a river that is celer, celeris, cerere. It is a swift, quick river. Adjective, swift or quick, celer. Now, celer is a third declension. It has third declension adjective and I stem endings. And it is a 3 termination. Celer being the masculine nominative, celeris being the feminine nominative, and celere being the neuter nominative. Here it's because it's neuter, agreeing with flumen, this is also its accusative form. So ad flumen celere, to the swift river. Nobiscum. So nobis is going to be the ablative of the pronoun nos. Nos, nostri, nostrum, nobis, nos, nobis. When you have an ablative with these personal pronouns, so me, te, nobis, and vobis, you will not say cum me, cum te, cum nobis, or cum vobis with the ablative of accompaniment. The cum is a post-positive preposition, so no longer a preposition but a postposition tacked on to the end of the word. Me cum, te cum, nobis cum, vobis cum, with us. Ambulabunt, third person, plural, future, bunt ending, active indicative of ambulo, ambulare, ambulavi, ambulatus, to walk. They will walk. Who will walk? The subject will walk. They, 3 out of the girls, will walk with us in our company to the quick, swift river. To the quick river, to the swift river. Pick one. Optime, octava, sententia octava. Mihi amice pecuniam da, miser sum. Does this ever work on anyone? Mihi amice pecuniam da. Mihi is the dative of ego. Ego, mehi, mihi, me. Mihi, dative, indirect object. Amice, not just look at the ending, but check out the commas. Offset by commas. Thank you, English editor and punctuator. Amice is the vocative of amicus e masculine. Friend. Friend, comma, to me, pecuniam da. Pecuniam, from pecunia I feminine, money. This is going to be the accusative singular, direct object of the imperative verb da. Da from do, dare, dedi, datus. It's a singular imperative mood. Remember, all imperatives are second person singular, present, active, imperative. You're addressing a singular friend. Give, friend, money to me. Give me money. Miser sum. Miser from miser, misera, miserum. Wretched, poor, unfortunate. Sum esse fui futurus. This is the first person singular, present, active, indicative. I am poor, wretched. I am unfortunate. Friend, give money to me. I am unfortunate. Nona, sententia nona. Viginti pueros in urbe magna, magister docebat. So viginti, a vigentesimal counting system, would be base 20. So viginti, indeclinable numeral adjective, 20. Pueros, from puer, pueri, masculine, boy. Os ending for this second declension masculine noun is the accusative case. Accusative plural masculine will be the direct object. Because viginti, indeclinable, is hanging around this noun, I'm going to go ahead and assume, perhaps rightly, perhaps wrongly, that viginti modifies pueros, and we're talking about 20 boys receiving the action of the verb, because direct object, accusative. In plus the accusative shows motion towards, into, or onto, but in plus the ablative shows location, in or on. Urbe, from urbs, urbis, feminine, city. This is the ablative, in urbe. We are in, located in the city, which is also magna, from magnus the ablative singular feminine, magna, modifying the noun urbe. Where are we? We are in the large city, the big city. Magister, from magister, magistri, masculine, is a male teacher. A female teacher is a magistra, feminine. And this is the nominative singular masculine subject of the verb docebat. Doceo, docere, docui, doctus, to teach. So third person singular, imperfect, active indicative. The teacher, docebat, was teaching. Hey, they do that. Viginti pueros, 20 boys, in urbe magna, in the large city. Optime and decima, sententia decima. Centum milites contra copias fortes pugnabant. So centum milites. Centum, a century has 100 years, and a dollar has 100 cents. So a centum, 100, indeclinable numeral adjective. It's hanging around milites, miles, militis, masculine, soldier. Could be the subject, milites, because it's nominative. Could be the direct object if it's accusative. We don't know yet. Contra, preposition, contra, meaning against, takes the accusative case. Copias, from copiae, aurum, feminine plural, forces or troops. So probably accusative to go with the preposition contra, which takes the accusative. And then fortes, from fortis, forte, third declension adjective, 2 terminations. So fortis would be the masculine feminine, forte would be the neuter. This right here is on the masculine feminine track. It's either the nominative fortes, the subject, or the accusative plural, masculine or feminine, fortes, probably to agree with the copias. So both of these, accusative plural feminine. Against the brave, the strong forces, pugnabant. Well, that looks like the centum milites will be the subject. So pugnabant, third person plural, imperfect active indicative of pugno, pugnare, pugnavi, pugnatus. They were fighting. The 100 soldiers were fighting, used to fight against the brave forces, against the strong troops. Optime, very well done. That wraps it up for exercise D. You are now ready to move on to exercise E, parsing English and turning it into Latin. Valete omnes.